Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and I have an unending fascination with the paranormal world around us. And I love interviewing people who have had some interesting paranormal experiences. And today we're speaking with my friend Brianna Dean. And Brianna and I met through her Facebook group called Podcasting for Newbies. And she said that she had some really interesting paranormal stories to share. So today she's going to be sharing 3 stories. One about the spirit lady on the road. Another about a ghostly lady riding a bike in the middle of the night. And also the haunted honeymoon hotel. So sit back and get comfortable as we delve into all things unknown and spooky. Hi Brianna, it's great to have you here today with us.
Thank you so much, Anna. I'm so excited to share my stories with you today. I have 3, and I'm going to let you pick your favorite because I'm really not sure which one's my favorite. They all have their kind of unique circumstances around them. Okay, so my very first experience, and this is, I believe in heaven, I believe in God. So, I think if you believe in that stuff, you have to believe there are spirits because that's the whole idea. When we're spirits, we die, we pass on to the afterlife. So, I've never been a doubter, but I have been one kind of like, I don't know if you actually see spirits, like if you can actually see a figure or anything like that. Until one day I was driving down the road and it was really late at night. It was about 1:15 or something like that. And my neighbor was on her deathbed at the time. We knew that she didn't have long to live. So I'm just driving down the road and I get on my street and I have my brother and a friend, at least two or three other people in the car with me. And I just stopped in the middle of the road. It's like country road. Nobody's around, no other cars. And I'm like, do y'all see that? And they're just like, what? And I kept going and I was like, nothing. And then I kind of just dismissed it. And then I got home and my neighbors were like, really, no, there goes my husband with the lights again. He knows I'm in here telling spooky stories. So he's flickering the lights.
You've got your own special lighting effects person there in the house with you today.
Yes, exactly. So I got home and my neighbors, they're both really old and they're not going to be up this time of night. And it's super dark where I live because it's really rural and there's only 1 or 2 street lights. But I look out my back door because I could get a perfect view of my neighbor's house from there. And I forgot to mention this. What I saw in the road was just a figure with a hat and a dress. And I'd seen pictures of my neighbor wearing that outfit because she was in some kind of women's sorority type thing. And that's the kind of outfits that they wore. And I didn't see the face or anything like that, but I did see the figure and I knew to look out for her because I knew that she was about to pass on. So that's why I looked at my neighbor's house and saw the light on. And I knew that was not normal because, I was young and like in my early 20s. I was up late a lot, but they were never had any lights on or anything at night. The next day, I found out that she passed about the same time I was driving down the road and saw that in the middle of the road. It was like I
Wow.
saw her passing on.
Wow. She was
So
showing
that,
herself to you. That's
yeah.
amazing.
And she really did love me. Like we were close. She was a nice lady and I grew up knew her since I was born pretty much. So,
I
yeah.
quite often find that people will show themselves to those that they love.
Yeah.
It's not always family members. Like you said, it can
Mhm.
be friends of the family, people that you felt really attached to, really connected to
Yeah.
emotionally. and you'd shared sort of life experiences together. So that's beautiful.
I didn't know what I'd saw until I realized that she had passed that night, and I asked what time because I wanted to know because of my experience, and when I found that out, I just knew, like, what are the odds? It had to be her.
And did it make you feel more comfortable in the fact that when we leave these bodies, that soul energy, that's what I call, when you see the spirit, that's that soul energy. It actually leaves the body and it has to
Yeah.
go somewhere. So there is the afterlife.
Yeah. So that's my first story. Now, the second story, I tell this one sometimes, but that was definitely kind of like an apparition. The second story I'm going to tell you, it was either a real person or they can look exactly like a real person. But me and my husband were outside, and this is the same house. These happened probably within a year or two of each other. And we were just standing in the front yard, minding our business, and then all of a sudden somebody starts going down the road on a bicycle. And I don't even know what decade it was from, like way back 50s, 40s, 30s, heck, 20s. I don't know. It was an old time bicycle. I'd never seen one in real life like that style until recently. They started coming back. I see them around more, but like I'd never seen a bicycle like that before. And then the person had, like, I don't know what kind of dresses they are. The big fluffy dress. It was a costume, or it was somebody from back in the day with those big fluffy frilly dresses, long, but you know how they stick out with the frill and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
One of those big hats. Her hair like in perfect curls,
Wow.
like makeup, like it looked like freaking out of she was beautiful. She looked real as day, but she looked like she stepped out of a completely different decade or century. Like she was not of this time. And I just watched her go right by my house, and I just watched her as she went. I couldn't take my eyes off of her because I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen anybody that looked like that before. And then I looked at my, well, now husband, and I said, "Did you see that?" And he's just looking down, mind his own business. Shh, like don't look at people and talk, like, trying to tell me to be quiet. Don't talk about people. And I'm like, I'm not. I've just never seen anybody. Like I've seen all kinds of different people, but not somebody that looked like they stepped out of a different time.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think you're on the ball there because I've spoken to lots of people who have seen spirits, and sometimes they say that they are very sort of faint and wispy and transparent. And other
Mm.
people have said that they just look like real people.
I grew up, I grew up my whole life, 21, 22 years. I lived there, and I have never seen anybody that looked like that going up and down the road. And then I tried to keep a lookout to see, because I know where some turning points are. And unless you're riding far, like, and she looked too pretty to be riding a bike down the road like that,
How exciting. So what's your third
Yeah.
experience? I'm interested to hear what this
So
one is.
this one's pretty cool, I think, too. I mean, so me and my husband, we got married. We just kind of had a small wedding. And we took a weekend trip. It wasn't far away. Just we were going to take the weekend trip. And I found this really cute hotel, and it was built early 1900s, maybe. When we get to the hotel, it was so cute in the pictures. It looked like the perfect romantic, charming getaway. So we pulled up. It was packed. It was so busy. I didn't expect it to be that busy. And we parked and we got out. And as soon as we got out, I just kind of said to myself, this place is haunted. But I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. I just got that feeling. My husband didn't say anything either. But when we got inside, we were checking in at the front desk, and there was a lot of people in the lobby. And I was just looking around like, what's going on? Because they were like having a meeting. And then the person at the desk gives us 2 bottles of holy water. And we just kind of look. I was like, well, what do we do with it? They gave us a bottle of water to drink. That's nice. No, I didn't know what it was at first. But they were having a seance in the lobby. We come to find out. And this place is like really, supposedly really haunted. Now, nothing happened to me when I was there, but I will be honest, I was a little bit creeped out. I was a little bit scared. And I was just hoping that nothing happened to me while I was there, because I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting to have this like romantic kind of getaway, and then turns out the place is haunted. And it really gave me creepy vibes. And like I said, whenever we first got out, I kind of just felt like this place is haunted. And we didn't stay that much, pretty much just to sleep there. And it wasn't that comfortable. The bed wasn't comfortable. The bathrooms weren't as clean as I'd like. So it really wasn't that great. But looking back, I went to a haunted hotel for for our honeymoon. It's a pretty cool story to tell. And they actually made a documentary about the hotel. So we went up to the same area recently within this past summer. And we're like, let's ride by the hotel, and see how it's going. And it looks shut down. So I started looking it up on the internet, and come to find out, it closed in 2020 with the pandemic, because a lot of hotels weren't getting the business because people weren't traveling.
Yep.
So, and it was already struggling then, I guess. And, the pandemic just kind of really put them under. But they did do a documentary there, and it is called, I'll share the link with you. But the name of the documentary is Balsam, a Paranormal Investigation, and they did it in 2021. I think you can stream it on Amazon Prime. So if you want to learn a little bit more about the history of the hotel, I really suggest watching it. We came home and watched it after we found out about the documentary.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, this says it's 100, or this was made in 2021, but 112-year-old, 40,000 square foot hotel. It's really nice. It's right there on the train tracks. And, back in the day, this was the place people going up and down the train tracks, stop, stay there. I think there have been suicide, maybe a murder there, some crazy stuff. They talk about it in the documentary. I don't know all the stuff like that, but it's just crazy because I didn't expect to show up at a haunted hotel.
I wonder if you were picking up on the seance energy that these people were vibing out.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Because quite often when people have the intention to connect with something that's out there, the vibe of that is going to attract all the spirits in the vicinity to that location. So some of those spirits may be from the hotel if there's been traumas or things that have happened there, but some of them can be from the local environment, and they're just drawn to the fact that people want to connect with the afterlife.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I find that happens quite a lot. I've been doing this work a long time, working with the paranormal, so I've seen lots of different sort of situations, lots of different experiences where the spirits are, and some of them just want help. Some of them just want to see what you're up to because they like being here in the earth environment, and they're just roaming around doing whatever they do. But they're like, oh, someone's having a seance. Let's just go and hang out with them.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating.
I did forget about this. So we were standing outside one night talking to another couple, And this couple was telling us, don't worry, we've been here plenty of times and they'd never seen or experienced anything weird. And but while we were standing there talking to them, somebody came running out of one of the rooms and we could see like through the door that they called the owner in there, and they must have experienced something in there while we were outside on the porch. So,
And also, too, if it's an old building, lots of people would have stayed there. And sometimes spirits will go back to buildings where they've enjoyed living or they've enjoyed their time there, and they'll just stay
yeah.
in that vicinity. I'm sure those people, I'm sure they enjoyed their paranormal experiences. I wonder what sort of seance experiences they had there in the lobby.
I don't know. I wish they had more of the documentary or something. Like, I would like to know more about the history and all, but all I know is what I've read and what they told about in the documentary.
That's great. Well, I'd like to
Yeah.
thank you, Brianna, for coming on Perfectly Paranormal today and sharing your
Thank
wonderful
you.
stories. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.